Scientists are working on bringing back the mammoth, so here is a hypothetical scenario. The return of the mammoth. It was a cold and blustery day in the Arctic, as a team of scientists huddled around a large excavation site. For months, they had been working tirelessly, piecing together the remains of a long-extinct species, the mammoth. And now, they were on the brink of something truly remarkable, the possibility of bringing the mammoth back to life. Dr. Samantha Reed, a renowned geneticist, led the team. She had always been fascinated by the idea of using genetic engineering to bring extinct species back to life, and the discovery of the perfectly preserved mammoth specimen was a dream come true. With the help of her team, she had extracted a small sample of the animal's DNA, and they had spent countless hours carefully sequencing and analyzing the genetic code. As they worked, Dr. Reed began to develop a plan. She would use the extracted DNA to create a hybrid of the mammoth and its closest living relative, the Asian elephant. The goal was to bring the mammoth back to life, but in a form that was adapted to the modern world. The project was met with both excitement and skepticism. Many believed that it was a scientific breakthrough that would change the world forever. Others argue that it was playing God, that bringing an extinct species back to life was ethically and morally wrong. Despite the opposition, Dr. Reed was determined to see her vision through. And so, with the help of her team, she began a long and complicated process of creating the hybrid. They worked tirelessly, using cutting-edge genetic engineering techniques to splice the mammoth DNA into the Asian elephant genome. It was a delicate process, and it took years, but finally, they were ready to bring the first mammoth-elephant hybrid to life. The day of the birth was a landmark moment in the history of science. The entire team gathered around the incubation chamber, watching in awe as the first hybrid emerged. It was a tiny, furry creature, with the trunk and tusks of the elephant, and the shaggy fur and large ears of the mammoth. Over the next few years, the team worked to grow and develop the hybrid. They monitored its growth, observing its behavior and feeding habits, and making any necessary adjustments to its genome. The hybrid thrived, growing stronger and more self-sufficient with each passing day. As the hybrid matured, Dr. Reed and her team began to introduce it to the outside world. They released it into a large, carefully monitored habitat, where it could roam and explore, just as its ancient ancestors once did. The hybrid was a magnificent sight, its shaggy fur blowing in the wind, its trunk reaching up to pluck leaves from the trees. The release of the hybrid was met with mixed reactions. Many were overjoyed to see a species that had been extinct for thousands of years brought back to life. Others were concerned about the potential consequences of reintroducing the mammoth into the world. They worried about the impact it might have on the ecosystem, and the delicate balance of nature. Despite the concerns, Dr. Reed and her team continued to monitor and study the hybrid, eager to learn as much as they could about this remarkable creature. They discovered that the hybrid was incredibly resilient and adaptable, able to thrive in even the harshest of environments. Years passed, and the hybrid continued to thrive. Its offspring were born and raised in the habitat, and soon there were small herds of mammoths roaming the landscape. The scientists were amazed at how quickly the species had recovered, and they couldn't help but feel a sense of pride and wonder at what they had accomplished. In the end, the return of the mammoth proved to be a triumph of science and determination. Dr. Reed and her team, who had succeeded in bringing back a species that had been extinct for thousands of years, and in doing so, they had shown the world what was possible. The mammoths roamed the Arctic, living, breathing examples of the incredible power of genetic engineering. And for generations to come, people would look back on their achievement with awe and amazement, a testament to the endless possibilities of the human spirit. Thank you for watching! If you enjoyed this video, hit the like and subscribe buttons.